The time you need systems is also the time where you start making good money in a business.
I agree. I mean, even for me, taking the leap into like investing into systems was like, do I really need to do this?
A lot of business owners at the beginning, they very heavily focus on sales, which is the right move to do. You know, it's the right thing to do. But you will get to a point where you're like, oh, now I need to deliver these services, and you might need a system for that.
Welcome, Tyler Holt, the founder of Done For You CEO, a 19-year-old prodigy. Tyler,
What's good?
welcome to the pod.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, tell me about the start of everything. Tell me about what you do. Like, where did we meet? I want the whole story. I want people to know, like, how you became a systems guy.
Well, it's been a long journey. It's been a long time. I think since we met.
Yeah.
Technically, it's been what, like a year now, I think.
Okay.
Over a year.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. I got started when I was in college. So I was in, you guys don't really call it in the US, but sixth form, kind of like your guys' version of like college.
College would be...
Well, we have college after. It's kind of like it's kind of like an in between. I don't know what the equivalent is for you guys.
Okay.
But I was there. I was doing film, TV,
Gotcha.
and I just kind of came across some of the business content. You know, came across the standard Iman and all these guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me give it a go. So I started to give it a try. I didn't have any courses, nothing like that. You know, I just had the YouTube videos and like just the information that's out there.
Yeah.
And it went horribly for like the first month, 2 months even. And then I bought Educate, and that was like Iman's thing at the time. I don't know if he does it now.
Yeah.
And I think that was used in there as well at a certain point. I didn't need you at that point though.
No.
We met later on. And so I did that. Was doing the whole marketing agency thing. I was doing ads, you know, things like that. And I pretty much stuck with that for a good like 6 months, probably over even. Joined a couple more courses. We met in a certain course as well. And then it was kind of like all ads agency stuff for like the first year. I was in the construction niche and I just didn't like it. It just wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not really like a big salesy marketing guy. You know, I still know my stuff about it, but I definitely preferred more of the systems and all of the stuff that happens on the back end of a business. It was just more interesting to me and more appealing to me, I think. So after we was in that course, and we met sometime in between that, 3 months we was in there, I made the switch, did systems, operations, things like that. And
I think it's not the retro. I just think it's funny how like doing any type of like agency, it really shows you your strengths and your weaknesses.
Yeah.
Like I feel like one thing, even because we partnered up on like very little projects here and there, then it was funny because I was good at like being like kind of the face, like making decisions and whatnot. And then you would be the guy that was like making like the SOPs and doing the back end stuff.
motion trackers.
Yeah, and that's before you even realize you really enjoy doing systems.
Yeah.
And it's just like you'll see the little things that you actually enjoy doing. And it's funny how like now kind of just looping back and thinking about it, like you were doing systems even back then and you didn't know that was like what you're gonna end up be like doing.
100%. It's like a subconscious thing.
Yeah.
But definitely like not like a wasted effort. You know, I think that whole year, like looking back on it, and I think a lot of people who are like maybe newer in their journey might feel like, oh, I'm like wasting my time or, you know, and stuff like that. But you're kind of not. You're just learning, you know, you're just learning things about yourself, I think most importantly, which is going to lead to a more successful business.
100%. Okay, cool. So that's the backstory. So
Yeah.
where are you at now? What are you doing? What are you accomplishing?
So right now we're doing I run a agency that does like systems and operations. We do like what's called fractional COO. So we come into a business and we essentially act as the COO of the company. So anything to do with operations, automations, we're even getting into AI now. It's like a big thing now.
Yeah.
That a lot of people want.
If you don't do it, yeah, you're falling behind for sure.
Yeah, 100% in almost every industry. I think, in fact, probably every industry by now. But yeah, we're doing that. So we're coming into businesses, revamping their systems, revamping, you know, like adding automation, making sure they've got SOPs. And I think just making sure they're getting stuff done quickly. You know, like I think a lot of people get stuck in decision making, like as a business owner, you know, but it's especially like, you know, on both ends where you have like people early on are scared to make decisions because it's bigger risk. And then same with people at 30K, 50K even, it's like you're then playing with more money, more people, so you have more responsibility. And early on, you're just using what you have. So I think it's like just making sure that they have someone in the business to help them get through that, and someone who's kind of seen different businesses from different angles. You know, all of the behind the scenes stuff. I mean, it's incredible the things that you'll see, like how people come up with different strategies and all this kind of stuff. No two businesses are the same, and I think that's really cool about what I do.
I think it's
Something I
valuable.
enjoy.
Yeah, I think it's super valuable, especially like you said, working with different businesses. Like there's different niches that something that you can implement within one niche will work fantastic for another. But if you didn't first have that client, you would have never implemented it into the other niche,
Mm-hmm.
which then could obviously lead to more revenue, speed, whatever the case may be. So I think that's super, super cool.
100%. It's like decision making and testing are like the two biggest things.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people have this expectation that once they get to 10K a month, they're gonna have everything figured out. Like, oh, I made it to 10K, I can just make it to 100 doing the same thing. It's like not at all. It's like you have to just make decisions quickly, test things even quicker, and keep reiterating.
Yeah. What do you think is the biggest problem that the majority of people that you're working with right now are like facing?
I think it's kind of a mixture of like speed, but also kind of being afraid to implement systems too early. Like they feel like they're doing it at the wrong time,
Interesting.
which I think a lot of people struggle with that because it's not the first thing that comes to mind when you think about growth. Like when you're like, oh, how do I make more money? It's like the first thing that comes to mind, and maybe it's by just the way the market is now, like in the agency space, is like, okay, I just sell more.
Yeah.
But it's like actually you'd make way more money if you just kept your clients or upped your revenue, added something new to your offer. Like there's a lot of ways to be creative, I think, in a business. And I think a lot of people disregard that systems are what make a business creative, that will make a business different than the others. Most of sales, I think, is pretty similar these days. I mean, there's 101 tricks that you can do, and there's all these different videos out there on how to sell properly. Everyone's kind of doing the same thing to some extent with sales. But I think systems really shine because they give you a way to stand out from the other businesses,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, especially within the agency niche and industry, is turn and burn. Like people are just like, we need more people. We lost somebody, whatever. We need more people. It's like,
Yeah.
no, you're actually going to save a lot of money and headache if you just keep the same
Yes.
people. So yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying, and I think systems definitely help with that because with systems comes organization.
Yeah.
And if you're organized, then you're not going to be all over the place, like wondering why one client didn't get what they were supposed to as far as deliverables go
Yeah.
and so on. So I completely agree.
Yeah. I think it's just about knowing how your business runs and what kind of metrics are you doing month to month, like all these different things that I think are super important that you do overlook at the time because in the day to day, it's not important. It's only important at relevant time points within the year or within your business journey that you're like, oh, I actually need to go and look at my data right now. And if you don't have it from the start, you're probably not going to have it halfway through until the end. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people just, yeah, like going back to your original question, like the biggest issue is that people think that they need to sell more when they probably just need to kind of clean up their agency, systemize it a little bit more,
Yeah.
um, do better training. Like that's a big thing as well. I think a lot of people really lose out on training. I think they disregard the value that like having good SOP, good systems in place for your team. Like they motivate people to do better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do. You could have a great team if you just have those things as well.
100%. So
Yeah.
a new agency owner, I'm stepping in the shoes of them. When should they start implementing systems? Like as early as what like revenue hit, I guess? Like how much should they be making to really invest into somebody like you?
I think it's partly about revenue, but I actually think before it's actually number of clients because obviously you'll get to a point where you have too many clients to deliver, but everyone's charging different things, right? So
Yeah.
I wouldn't really want to put like a number on it exactly. But I think once you have around 8 to 10 clients, you can't really do everything yourself. You can't run the business, sell the business, and like do all of that stuff. Like as in sell the business, as in like sell to new people.
I think that's even generous, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I think even when I was at 5 clients,
it's busy.
it's like, okay, I need help. Like, there's too much happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think keep up my bad. I didn't.
No, no, 100%. Obviously, there's different stages as well with systems, which I think a lot of people don't see that either.
Yeah.
I've spoken to people who, I'll talk to them about systems and they're like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, you just, I'll pay you for like the month and then we're good. And then I have my systems in place. It's like, that's not the case at all with systems because it's something, as I kind of said before, it's like, it's an iteration. Like it evolves with your business. And obviously, yeah, you could be a business owner with the skills on how to code or how to use API and all these different things. You could definitely do that and go and learn it. But why would you really want to? Like, it's just going to take up more time and things like that. So I think it is really about when you're at a point where you're too busy to run the business effectively from the standpoint of an owner, like too busy to steer the ship. That's when you have a problem and you're like, I should probably invest in some systems or, hire people, right? But I think it kind of hiring people and having systems is kind of one and the same, because your systems are going to make it easier to bring people on and to,
Sure.
have people into your workflows and things like that. It just makes it a lot easier. So I think systems are really good to have. Not straight away. I think, I've even had this, right? I mean, I think we've had a couple of conversations about it as well, where it's like sometimes you'll have like no clients and you'll be worried about systems. And I think that's definitely the wrong thing. You know, first 3 clients, you got to do it yourself. You got to figure out, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? What works? What doesn't work?
100%.
And then you can be like, okay, cool. I've done it a couple of times. What systems do I need? What's going to help me? What's going to speed things up? And all these different things.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's and I know a couple of people like this that love to plan, and they don't take, action.
Yeah.
Um, and I know a lot of people who are just action, 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 even when they get to 10 plus clients, and it's like, hey, maybe you have to take a step back, start planning, implementing systems so you can actually scale this thing all the way. So
100%.
I think there's a fine line. There's some place in the middle where it's like, hey,
Mhm.
once you reach this amount of clients,
Yeah.
then start implementing systems and kind of going from there.
I feel like most people will kind of get the feeling that they use systems, but I think a lot of people are kind of maybe not afraid to say it, but I think there's just kind of a thing where it's like, well, actually, what if I could just sell more without investing in my systems? Or what if I could just do more without, hiring people and save my money? And then I think that comes from like a place of scarcity a little bit, especially, if you've just, because the thing is, the time you need systems is also the time where you start making good money in a business. I feel like, it's like, so if you've come from a place where you've been struggling for all these months and you just got all these clients and then you're like, damn, I got to invest still and like basically like take that money and put it somewhere where I can't go and, enjoy life with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the thing that makes people hesitate. It's like that thing where it's like, oh damn, like I gotta go and put a bit of money back into the business now.
I agree. I mean, even for me taking the leap into like investing into systems was like,
Yeah.
do I really need to do this? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hey, I know it will be helpful,
Yep.
but do I really need it? Like, I think that's the fine line. But then once you actually make the leap, it's like, this is game changing. Like, this is literally life changing when it comes to the business, because without this, yes, it would run, but you're running on, old oil versus getting a tune up and actually seeing how quickly your business can scale now that you have these systems. So I think that's really cool. What is like the first thing that you would tell an agency owner to do as far as systems go? Like, what's the first thing that they should actually systemize? Because I feel like the word system gets thrown around so much, and it's like, what are systems? Like, what is a system?
So really your system is basically, you have systems and then you have like processes, right? So it kind of goes down like a bit of like a tree almost, where you have your systems, like could be like onboarding or service delivery or sales even. And then within that system, you have your processes, which is like the individual things that you do. And then your processes go down into like your tasks, right? So it's like, how do we onboard clients? Here's the list of tasks. That's the process. And then within that process, like you have the system.
Yeah.
Um, but I think the first thing that I think people should really go for, I mean, it is a little different for everyone. Like some people, like, I mean, different businesses have different struggles, right? Especially when they get to the system stage. Like some people, it might be, I have clients, I can't get any more clients. Some people, it might be, I can't retain clients. And then, there is a lot of like nuance. But I think generally it's the thing that slows you down the most,
Mm.
right? Whatever it is in your business that is like weighing you down the most is the thing that you systemize. A lot of the time that's client stuff, I feel like, because a lot of business owners at the beginning, they very heavily focus on sales, which is the right move to do. It's the right thing to do. But you will get to a point where you're like, oh, now I need to deliver these services. And you might need assistance for that. Like that's kind of one of the biggest things that I think people don't help with straight away.
Well, what is client stuff though? Like when you say client stuff, is that like helping them with deliverables, or like
Yeah.
what does that look like?
It's like I think onboarding takes people a long time. I mean, even back in the day, there was like the classic pitch deck, which was like, we'll get you onboarded in like 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, why not get them onboarded in a day and just start running that too? It's like, things like that. I think streamlining that. Hiring is also like another big thing I think that people really struggle with, but I'll maybe touch on that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, with the client stuff, it's onboarding and then service delivery, which I think is mostly about getting better results. Like most people have service delivery pretty good if they have like 10 plus clients,
Yeah.
you're okay. But how can we make it better, or how can we communicate better results to clients is also like another thing. You want to have reporting or notifications, kind of like anything so the client can like see that you're working.
Client
I
experience.
think this is brilliant because clients love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I think client experience is huge. I think honestly, client experience is one of those things where like you could be getting maybe even not as good results as another agency, but if you have better client experience, they'll go with you instead of that
Yeah.
just because they're happier. Like you're actually communicating, you're giving them updates and feedback. And I think
Mm.
even for me being a consumer, I enjoy those little things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you want it to feel premium, you know what I mean? And you can do that with systems. Like if you have someone who's good at systems, good front end development, good back end development, whatever that looks like, it's like you can have a really good client experience and you can kind of do like, I don't know what you'd call it, maybe like the Rolex kind of model where it's like you just have this luxury feeling brand. You might not be the best quality as such, obviously that's what we're all going for. Is like you want to get the best results, of course, but you could still pull it off by having a good experience, making sure your clients are looked after, taken care of, and they can see everything. And it feels like a worthwhile investment.
Yeah. Okay. So for done for you CEO, like where do you see that going? Like what is the ideal client? Like give me some like tangibles just so we can have some accountability if you watch this back in a year or two. What does that look
Hmm.
like for you?
Isn't like where do you see the business going, or like where do you see the
Where do you want the business to go? Yeah, where do you see it going?
I just want the business to have more of an impact on the other businesses. I want it to sort of change the agency space a little bit and change people's idea of like what makes up a system, right? Like I feel like a lot of people have this idea like, oh, systems is kind of boring, or oh, I can go high level, you know what I mean? Like people have that kind of mindset, but I think it can be something way more creative almost, and something that, as I said at the beginning, can make your business stand out, make you feel luxury, make you feel premium.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't do that. I think a lot of people fall behind on that stuff. It's obviously most importantly, you want like a practical system and a practical agency. But I just think that, yeah, in like a year or two, I want the business to just have more of an impact, do more with the business as it has. I want to grow the portfolio. I want to make sure like everyone's scaling and everyone's doing super well. That's super important to me just personally, like before anything else. Like results are so important to me. And like I'm a bit of like almost like a micromanager myself. I want the best of the best.
Yeah.
But I also want to communicate to like the people that I'm working with that they should also want the best of the best, whether it's systems, whether it's sales, or whether it's team.
Yeah.
So I think quality is like a big, like for the next year or two, my overall theme is like quality
Love it, bro.
and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Well, bro, I appreciate you hopping on the pod.
Always, man.
Not sure what it's called yet, but yeah, I think this is a great conversation. I think people are going to find value in this. If you are looking for anything systems, you found your guy. Thanks for watching.
Uh,
We'll see you on the next video.
Thank you.